Hello, in this clip from the Self-Unemployed Podcast, Kush Singh and I discuss how important it is to get the right training in order to become a good property investor, not just for ourselves, but also for the wider community.
So tell us a little bit more. Obviously, we've met through Samuel Leeds Academy. Tell us a little bit more about what goes on in the academy.
Okay, where do I start, really? So you got the training. So if you join the academy, basically you've got access to live training and online training for multiple different strategies in property. So as we've talked about already, you've got BRRR, you've got deal sourcing, service accommodation, HMO, rent to rents, lease options. There's also other modules in there, Colin, about tax and that sort of stuff, auctions.
Yeah, a lot of that, and then there's the online. You're talking about the live training that covers those things.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot more that gets covered in the online trainings. Then you've got stuff that goes into more detail on auctions and tax and
yeah.
Yeah,
that's sort of the training element, but you've also then got the social side of it. So you've got the monthly dinners down in Heathrow. You've got the WhatsApp chat. You've got the new social forum. You've got the inner circle meetings that I know you attend quite a lot of. So really, there's a lot of networking there. People of all backgrounds, people with lots and lots of experience, people just starting out, people with money, people with lots of time, people in the trades. It's a great network. I think, as I say, it's like a shortcut almost to getting you started because you've got all the tools there. What I found quite useful is the quote My Refurb feature, where you can upload the details and get some insight into how much a refurb would cost. To have that support.
Yeah, so I think they have a builder basically who basically gives out quotes, or not quotes because they're not going to do the work, but they give an estimate of how much they think a job will cost, which is super useful.
Yeah.
And then there's also the finance, Samuel Leeds Finance, so which is kind of tied in with quote My Refurb, and then the other thing is rate my deal, So once you've costed up the refurb through the rate my refurb, you can then take the whole deal as a package to get assessed, and they'll tell you how good a deal they think it is before you try and sell it, because you don't want to be selling, like you said, reputation is really important, and you might think a deal is good, but it might not be. Yeah. So it's a good idea to get it checked over to see if it is before you sell it, and that's another feature that they have. And then if it is a really good deal, they might even Samuel Leeds might even fund it himself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Also, another thing, just something to say about the academy and sort of the whole thing, how it's set up, is because it accelerates your growth. You're then able to, it's very common for people to quit their day jobs while they're in the academy. It's like normal. It gives you time to then do what you want in your life. So if you want to spend more time focusing on your family and your health and your hobbies and that sort of thing, it gives that time back to you. And you're going to get to a certain point, like we see it time and time again, like through the mentors and training advisors and just general people in property that are successful. They're able to then give back, give to charity.
Exactly.
Help improve the environment by buying big projects and creating social housing and stuff like that. So it starts with you doing it for you and going through that tough period. But if you keep going, you're going to get to a point where you can actually change the lives of many people around you, or even on the other side of the world, So it becomes quite an unselfish thing if you push.
Absolutely.
I just want to quickly say thank you so much for watching or listening. If you are watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up and a subscribe and all that, and subscribe to the podcast, leave us a review. All those things are super useful. But if you like what you're hearing and you'd like to become self-unemployed yourself, then I'd really like to build a community. And the way that I'm doing that is I've got a free mailing list that you can join. And when we record these episodes, they're going to be put out as live streams. So you'll get to see a little bit behind the scenes. You'll get to see the episodes before they go out on the main channel and on the podcast, and you'll get to interact with us as we're recording. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, head on over to the website, links in the description, and I look forward to chatting with you as we record future episodes.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm really trying to get across with the Self-Unemployed podcast, and that's really what the message is, that it's not just about having enough money to not have to work. It's about freeing yourself up so that you've got time to pursue more valuable things with your time, and have more of a positive impact on society, and then not just with your time, but also be investing in things, because in this country, one of the biggest challenges we have is housing, a lack of housing. I mean, we talk about house prices going up and rents going up. Well, that's because there's not enough houses and too many people wanting to live in them, whether they're buying or renting. It's the same market forces. So every house we renovate and bring back onto the market, it's important to remember that those houses, if they're in a very bad condition, they can't be rented out. I'm sorry, you can't get a mortgage on them. A first-time buyer can't buy them if they need a mortgage. So the only way to get those houses back into the housing stock and be available is for an investor like us to come in and use bridging loans or our own capital to do a BRRR or a flip, to bring them back. So I think it's a really important thing what property investors like us do, and I feel like we don't get credit for it sometimes.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think it's the media maybe painting it as a different story, and obviously there are bad landlords. There are good and bad everywhere.
Yes.
But yeah, I think when people actually look at what's being done, they'll realise actually if it wasn't for these investors and landlords, then there'd be a lot of properties that wouldn't be as nice. Wouldn't be as nice to live in those areas.
Well, there'd still be wrecks.
Yeah.
Ruined. Just continuing to deteriorate. It's abandoned.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching. So as you've just heard, getting the right training in property investing can be absolutely life-changing. Both Kush and I had some training from Samuel Leeds, and Samuel makes it really, really easy to go and get a taste of what he offers. It only costs £1, and you get a whole day of training. There's lots of dates available, so if you click the link in the description, you can see when the next date is available, and you never know, it might change your life. But what have you got to lose?